everyone, Brian here with Nelson Creek Outdoors. We're the makers of Lucky 7 scents, and specifically talking today about some of our synthetic deer scents and deer decoys. Here I want to introduce you to my good friend Harvey. Harvey is my deer decoy, and Harvey is a very progressive deer decoy. He can actually be a doe, or with the addition of his antlers, another one over there, but you put the antlers in, and then he can be a buck. So, very progressive deer decoy. Now I like to set up Harvey as a buck, as an old battered warrior. He's got one antler busted up, big body. So he's a mature buck trying to breed, but yet he's a little bit vulnerable. Again, he's progressive. He's vulnerable. And that gives some of the other bucks a little more confidence when they come up and approach the decoy. You have to pardon my background noise a little bit. I am at the farm today, so cows being tended to and stuff, and it does make a little noise in the background. But in any case, one of the things that you see on all the videos, you see people using these, and they have either great success with it or great failure, it seems. And one of the recurring issues seems to be when the buck comes up to smell the decoy. He gets within a certain range, smells at it, and then he bolts. He's out of there. Now, I don't know that the reason is always that he smells something wrong, that human odor on it, or gasoline, or from a car, or from whatever. Sorry, once in a while you may notice a pause in the video. It's because a tractor or car goes by. But I was saying, it's not always because the buck, when he smells the decoy, that he smells something foreign, an odor that shouldn't be there. A lot of times it's because that buck, or doe, comes up to the decoy and smells, and doesn't smell what they expect. This decoy, he's made out of plastic, he doesn't smell like a deer. So they go up and they smell this decoy, and he doesn't smell like he's supposed to, and they bolt. So what are you going to do about that? Well, first, I want to talk about one of our newer products. That's Whitetail Alchemy Liquid Ozone. Now this is a concentrate. It's a 2-ounce bottle of concentrate. And what you do is you add this to a whole gallon of distilled water. You can use other water in a pinch or whatever, but distilled is preferred since it removes the minerals, so you don't get anything staining on your clothes from the minerals or anything, or any other weird odors or anything. But just gallon distilled water. Take a gallon, take a 2-ounce swig out of it, dump in the liquid ozone, and mark that gallon. Not toxic or anything, but you still probably don't want to drink it. Then it makes a whole gallon for a season or more's worth of scent killer spray, a scent eliminator spray. So that's what this does. This bottle sells for $6.89. That means you get a gallon of scent elimination spray for $6.89 plus what, let's say $1 for the distilled water. That is very, very cost effective, and this oxidizes odors very well. It's very effective. So before you even get dressed, spray your clothes down, let it dry a little bit, put your clothes on. Same with your gear. Spray the gear, let it dry, take it out in the field, and it'll not only remove the odors, it'll continue removing the odors for some time out in the field. So again, 2 ounces of concentrate, gallon of distilled water, shake it up, and then put it in your own spray bottle. And get a nice good one, because you'll be able to reuse it for a long, long time. It's a good heavy duty one. I don't know, I paid like $1 for 2 of them at the Dollar Tree, and that's what I use now for scent killer. Now you'll notice it has a little bit of a scent of its own when you spray it. It's very similar to a fresh rain, and that's because it does kind of have the odor of ozone, which is a natural odor. It happens every rainstorm, every time there's lightning, so deer aren't afraid of it. And it will dissipate it almost. You'll smell it when it's in the bottle, but if you put it on your clothes and then sniff it, you won't smell it at all. It's because once it's working and out in the environment, just like after a rainstorm, that ozone odor will disappear. Okay, so what I do with the decoy, I'm all set up, take some of that scent killer. Spray the decoy down, spray underneath them, get it around. And just let that set a little bit. It'll evaporate, and right now it's killing all the odor that's on that buck. He's virtually as scent-free as he's ever going to get. And he is clean, the odors are now oxidized. He smells like nothing. But as I said earlier, that's still a problem. He doesn't smell like anything. Deer expect deer to smell like deer. There's a good phrase for that. Deer expect deer to smell like deer. They go up to this decoy right now, he does not smell like a deer. So, that's where our newest product comes in. This is Lucky 7 Decoy Dope. Now what this is a very light, basic deer fragrance. It's not buck, it's not doe, it's just the odor of a deer. And if you smell it, you'll recognize it. When you're gutting a deer and you smell that fur and stuff on the deer, it's got that distinctive deer body smell. And that's what we're going for here. It's a very light smell. You don't want to overdo it. Smelling too much like a deer is also a bad thing and will spook deer as well. So it's formulated to be a very light, deer-like fragrance, non-sex specific. It can be used on a buck decoy or a doe decoy. And it will make him smell like a real deer, and it also will coat him smoothly so that odor stays with him for the day's hunt. So now that he's all deodorized, we spray him overall. Now Harvey smells like a deer. And again, he smells like a generic deer. Now I didn't bring any other scents with me today because I wanted to focus on this and not get too much depth. But here on your decoy, you got the old tail end. I recommend getting some sticky scent pads. Now if he's a buck, and especially if it's the rut, take one of those sticky scent pads, stick it on his rump, a little one, down under between his legs, and put a little bit of your favorite buck lure on it, the rutting buck lure. It smells like a buck. Or if it's not the rut, just a standard buck lure. Turn him into a buck. Not necessary. We've eliminated the fact that it'll spook, other deer will spook from his non-odor or wrong odor. But you can make it even more effective with, say, our Buck and Rut Max on that little scent pad on his tail. Likewise, Harvey's progressive. If he's a doe and it's the rut, a little Doe and Heat Plus on a scent pad on his tail. Well, in her case, her tail. Let's get our pronouns right. I don't know, we pick one. Knee? Is that? I don't know. Just kidding. So you put a little bit of Doe and Heat Plus on him, or if you're right at the peak of the rut, one of our two new maximum response scents, our pheromonal response scents, Lucky 7 ASS, or the Juice, Lucky 7 the Juice. Lucky 7 Ass is a peak of the breeding season, complete with pheromones and vaginal discharge. That smells like a doe that is at the peak of rut and ready to breed. A little bit subtle difference with the other scent, Lucky 7 the Juice. That's a scent of a doe at the peak of rut. She's at the peak of estrus, and she's already been breeding. That adds a little bit more, some urgency to the bucks because they know she's been bred at least once. She may produce 2 or 3 fawns. One is probably already fathered now, so he's only got a shot at 1 or 2 more eggs. He knows he's got to be in a hurry if he wants to father any of the remaining fawns. So that's what the Juice is all about. All right, I hope that helps. Next time you try a decoy, or if you haven't tried a decoy, maybe you want to give it a try. Use scent control, then make sure he smells right. Add a little bit of enticement through some of the other sex-oriented scents. You don't have to use Lucky 7 scents, but we strongly recommend it. They truly are the best in the industry. Our rut scents are 3 steps ahead of the competition. I guarantee that. They are better than anything else you can get on the market. And a lot of bucks dropped last year with Lucky 7 Ass and Lucky 7 the Juice during a short testing window in November and December down south and into January. Huge success rates, lots of bucks, so you want to get in on that. Again, Lucky 7 cents from Nelson Creek Outdoors. I'm Brian. Get out there, stick a big one this season. Thanks a lot.